Yeah, you remind me of butterfly dolls. Waist tight with a body like gold. Hit you with the Dougie Fresh pose.
So first, thank you for coming.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
For having me.
So how have you been holding up with the pandemic so far?
I've been cooling for real. I'm like, my homies don't, like, I be kind of quarantined anyway, you feel me? So it didn't really change too much other than not being able to do shows, which is bogus, but it was cool because we was like moving around so much and shit, being able to stay in the city, you know what I mean? It's been like a positive thing. I'm anxious to get back out and start doing shit, but at the same time, it's like, I'm anti as hell anyway, so you know what I mean?
Yeah. Who were some of your musical influences growing up?
Shit, definitely Hov off top, and then Kanye, obviously, Wu-Tang, Wayne, Heavy Wayne, Lou Reed, fucking Spitter once I got a little older, Currency, really all across the board for real. Sid Vicious.
How was your experience at Whitney Young?
Man, Whitney Young was cool. As I got older, I mean, I liked it a lot while I was there, don't get me wrong, but me being so anti and so definitely like, I have like a conflict with authority type of complex growing up, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really like how, like, the box that they try to keep everybody in. So I got into it with the faculty a lot, but as far as like the environment, the people, and the kids, and some of the teachers, it was great. It's a great school, you feel me? So it was tight, and then it's a magnet school, so it brought so many people together. I feel like that's like something that doesn't get talked about a lot as far as Chicago collectives. Like, a lot of us come from magnet schools, you know what I mean? As far as bringing people together, we all lived in different cities, so it was tight. I mean, not different cities, but different part of the city, you feel me?
Yeah. So when did you first meet Vic, Chance, Kami, and how did Savemoney get formed?
Man, we first met everybody at different points, you feel me? But I met Vic the summer after 6th grade. I got a homie named Ty who went to the same grammar school as him, and we used to hoop at the same park. And we went and linked up at the park one day to go like play basketball, walk around as be kids and shit. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm finna call 2 of my homies. They finna come link up with us too." So he called Nico Segal, who's a trumpet player and a pianist and musician. He plays in the Social Experiment Band, also plays in the Juju Exchange. People know him for that. And then and then Nico called Vic, who was not Vic, he was Vic Mesa because that's his name. But yeah, so we met that day. He already had a notebook of raps. And we had the same swag. I think we both had on like True Religions, both had straight to the back braids, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of clicked there. But then we ended up meeting again in high school. That's when we really got cool, like first couple weeks of high school. And then Kami, he came to our school. He came to Whitney Young, I think, sophomore year. So I met him the first day of sophomore year. We had algebra together. And same thing, we both like listen to Lil Wayne a lot. We both probably had on some tight Levi's, skinny 511s or something, you know. So we started kicking it there. And then Chance I met the first week of freshman year. He grew up with Reese Money, everybody know Reese in the city, so he grew up with Reese. That was like his day one homie from grammar school. Him and Nico, Art by Nico Washington, they grew up together. He does all the visuals he's been involved with for everything I've ever dropped, pretty much everything any of us have dropped, he's been involved in. And they go back from grammar school, and Chance, like something happened with Chance and some older kids from his school, and we was so anti that when one of our friends called us like, "Yo, I'm just me here," you know what I'm saying? We pulled up to help him or whatever, so that's where we clicked instantly because we was all just like communal, you know what I mean? So really it started like freshman year of high school, I say. And then me and Tokyo go back to 2nd grade though. That's like my day one homie, you know what I mean?
And then at what point was it like did Savemoney first get started?
Right then, for real, freshman year, like we all just started clicking freshman year. I think the name Savemoney probably came up sometime around freshman or sophomore year or something like that. But yeah, the beginning of high school, I say, is when it all started, like when we all started pulling together, you know what I mean? Some people knew each other already, and then we all became friends of friends of friends, you know what I mean?
At what point did you start taking music seriously?
When I started going overseas and shit like that. Like I had played shows in Chicago, but I was still like doing regular shit, and somebody would email me or tell somebody that they wanted to book me for a show, or I'll be at one of Vic or Chance's shows and they'll be like, "We want you to play a show," and I had like 5 songs, you know what I mean? I didn't have like music, so I never took it seriously. But then the first time I got on the plane and went to China, went to Spain, France, and shit like that, I was like, okay, I do this shit, you know what I mean? Like I really do this shit. And that was like probably right after eye drops type shit.
So at some point in 2014, Leather Corduroys was formed. You guys dropped that project Season at the start of 2015. one of my favorite tapes from that year. But looking back at it 6 years later, can you talk about the experience of putting that tape together and what it means to you?
Yeah, man, that was cool. It was just like it was really an art project in the truest form. You know what I'm saying? We was just trying to like make, and we wanted every song to be different, and we wanted every song to kind of be like us emulating or interpreting something else, like a different phase of music or a different movement of music. We wanted to have a song where we barred up. We wanted to have a song that sounded like a disco song. We wanted to have a song that sounded like a barbershop quartet. We wanted that, you know what I mean? So it was cool, man. And then the way we did the art, the way Nico really did the art, though, we had the vision to just have a different art for every song and like put it out the first of the year, like at midnight, right on New Year's and stuff. And it was like our first experience really putting something together at that like level, you know what I'm saying? So it was cool, but it was also like a lesson in itself to like, we kind of had to take some things more serious in the presentation because otherwise it wouldn't really go over well, you know what I mean? We kind of did it for fun, but then once you put it out and people ingest it, you doing this professionally, you know what I mean? So it was a great experience for real.
Do you have a personal favorite song off that project?
Either Lucy or Chicken Talk, probably. Yeah, Lucy or Chicken Talk. But it's a lot of Bad Man's great, Bad Man's great. It's a lot of good songs on there, but Lucy or Chicken Talk probably my favorite song.
Yeah, no, they're all super good. They're all very unique. That Bad Man and that Rocket Man.
Yeah, Rocket Man and Bad Man, crazy. Those are up there for real. But it's like, I love Chicken Talk too, cause that's like my favorite type of rap. You know what I mean? Just barred up. That's my favorite type of rap music. So, yeah.
So you and Kami have always made music together. Continue to do.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll ever be another Leather Chords project?
Probably not a Leather Chords project, but we got a whole tape together that we dropping this year. We would have dropped it last year, but the pandemic and shit, so we just kind of kicked it and started dropping videos and shit. And yeah, we got a whole tape now though, but probably won't be called Leather Chords just cause it's like to be 100, we was joking, like, you know what I mean? That was before we took it seriously, so we wasn't really serious, like even with the skit about the jeans and shit like that. And somebody actually sent me last year on Twitter, they made jeans out of banana peels, like somebody did that. So it was crazy, like, to see shit come to fruition when we just literally playing on every level, and then people take the music and embrace it seriously, and then ideas obviously that didn't come from us, but just was in the ether, you know what I'm saying, in the air. So yeah, but we're not gonna title it Leather Corduroys. It's just gonna be me and bro.
Yeah, in 2017, you released Eye Drops. Can you talk about what it was like, that moment when Girls That blew up?
It was crazy because it was so gradual, you know what I mean? Like when it first came out, it was my first taste of like something going up, but it was also like, you know, I remember talking to Chance about it beforehand, and we were gonna drop Eye Drops. I think we dropped it in April or May, and we were gonna drop it earlier. And Chance texted me like, bro, don't drop this without me getting on this song, please. And I'm like, say less. You know what I'm saying? At that point, he going crazy too. So I'm like, bro, say less. You my real homie and you want to get on it for sure. So it was like, gave me perspective to not only my capability as making songs that could be perceived as a hit, because everybody that heard it was like, bro, this is a hit. You got one. This is a hit. This is a hit. And we just made it. Me and Knox just cooked that up. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like we was trying to search for something. It just came naturally. So that was big. But then seeing the gradual rise, even to now, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still going. People still hit me up. Like, I just found this song. It's my favorite song and shit like that. So I'm like, man, it was definitely it gave me a small taste and gave people a small taste of what I feel like is to come from me. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even have this for the interview, but you brought up Knox. So I first heard of Knox when he was producing for you guys, like, back in the day. How awesome has it been to like watch his growth as a creative and as an artist over the years? Super
proud, man. It's crazy because to the world, like when I met Knox, he had songs already. That was his songs. He made the beat and he sang on it. And then we started making music with him, and he produced stuff for us that he didn't sing on. And so for a lot of people, it looks like a producer that started making music for himself. But when I met him, he had a mixtape or an album or whatever you call it, a project of his own songs with his vocals on it. But to see him get better at isolating his vocals and really like executing his ideas and writing, because his pen is crazy now too. So it's definitely been cool, man, just to see the growth in general. Like, you know, we all super proud of bro.
And then in 2018, you dropped Quarter Thing. What does that project mean to you looking back 3 years later?
Man, it means everything for real. Like, that was another step up, you know what I'm saying? Same as Eye Drops. Eye Drops was the foot in the door, And then quarter thing to really be able to not only go out and get like a good partner for the project on good terms, successfully negotiate good terms for a project, and do a lot of things that people are starting to do now that 3 years ago labels was telling me was impossible. Getting a 3-year, I don't want to go too far into the situation, but getting a license on a project where they don't own your music with substantial funding. A lot of times today people give you pennies and try to take your whole pot, you know what I'm saying? So, and then also getting people like the RZA and the GZA on it, getting Raven Lene and Queen Keek highlighting 2 women from the city that I feel like are going crazy. This before C-Dot Huncho was really going crazy. He was already hard going crazy on the street level, but like this before a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of shit came to fruition. So it's cool because I feel like it's just for my personal like Rolodex of insight, it's always cool to be like, yeah, I knew it, you know what I'm saying? Like we watched this come to fruition, we knew what was gonna happen, and then we did it. The only thing I would change though is to have the first song be the second song and the second song be the first song. Because I feel like it would look better on the track list to see God Body Part 2 featuring the RZA, and then it ends In the Morning featuring the GZA. I don't really like that the RZA feature sits second and the GZA feature is at the end. I would like to open it and close it with personally what opened and closed hip hop for me. Like Wu-Tang is really my start and finish of what hip hop is and was. Like that was where I fell in love with rap music and the whole aesthetic of an artist. You know what I'm saying? So.
No, that's a great point. I never thought of it like that. What I will say though is that 24K Golden song, that Sanctified, like that's like no lie one of the best songs I've ever heard. And that as an intro, I thought was like it just comes out the gate super, you know.
That's how
sets that tone.
I still feel like that to it, but I also feel like there's a certain vulnerability that I had on that song, and there was like more of an aggression on God Body 2. So to go from vulnerable to aggressive, it kind of gives you a different perspective of the artist as opposed to go from aggressive to vulnerable. You know what I mean? Because if I smack the shit out you, then tell you like somebody smacked me too, bro, my fault. You might accept it better than me be like, gee, somebody just smacked me, and then I smacked your ass. You'll be like, bro, why you taking it out on me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So to the listener, I see even by the numbers, like people go to God Body 2 more so as a go-to for like what my vibe is than they do 24 Karat Gold. Because that level of honesty, people don't have that with themselves. So for somebody else to have it, it's almost like if you're not to say you gotta be a real nigga to fuck with it, but if you're not a real nigga at all, you definitely not gonna fuck with it. You're gonna be like, man, I like the second one. It sounds tough, you know what I'm saying? But like real niggas know, like, man, shit happens, you feel me? Like it's life.
So you have a very impressive catalog. I was curious, what are your favorite maybe like 3-5 songs that you've ever made?
3 or 5?
Let's go 5.
Let's go 6.
Let's go 6.
All right. Monologue,
Okay.
Don't Stop, God Body Part 2, 24K Gold, Elastic. This is out. These are songs that are out. I'm gonna go out. And then that's tough because I really want to put Girls Out right there, but I don't want to forget nothing where I bar up. But I'll probably say Girls Out. Those are like my 6 of my most, I feel, flawless executions where I like tapped into a vibe of myself and then really delivered that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Elastic, that song damn near did just as well, if not better, than Girls That.
Better.
What was it like to see that go crazy?
It was like an affirmation of it was affirming, like a reaffirmation of what I can do, what my vibe is, and then also like what people want from me. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the level. I know like God Body Part 2, 24K Gold, Elastic, and Girls Out are 2 completely different vibes, but these are like me as an artist. This is what I am. This is like, if you cut me, I bleed these records type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it meant a lot, especially to see it outperform Girls Out as far as like, I mean, it has more streams on every platform, but also the amount of time it's been out for 2 years less. So to see it outperform a song that had a big feature, I mean, it's my man's, but it's not just my man's to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, we made it on we was kicking it in the studio, but to everybody else, if you never heard of me, you like Chance the Rapper's on this song, you know what I'm saying? So to see a song where I really stand on my own and it's just me and the music be that successful, it gave me insight to like, okay, we could do this. You know what I'm saying? We could do this on a big level. And then also, from a label standpoint, seeing doors that like were cracked open for Girls That, because they felt like I was like the dude that could make good songs, but I had a chance feature, and that's really what did it. We kicked that bitch through. Like I make hit. I know how to do this. You know what I'm saying? So that was cool too. But it's like it's crazy because it really don't come from us. Like, or I don't feel like it comes from me. Like it just comes. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you want to call it God or the universe or whatever, but it was just a reaffirmation to me that I'm definitely a catalyst for something. And if I tap into it right, it can be like very big. You know what I'm saying?
So you mentioned the collab project with Kami, but what are you currently working on? Is there a solo project in the works?
Yeah, I'm sitting on 3 mixtapes. So yeah, man, I haven't really been talking about it too much because I don't like to jinx things, and I kind of like that element of just like I be kicking it. I don't really want to be like promoting what I'm about to promote because I know once I drop it, I'm gonna have to promote it. So I'm not the type that's like I'm gonna drop soon. I got a tape done, but I had a tape before the pandemic. Me and Kane was working on our project. Then the pandemic hit. We finished our project. Then I got back in because it extended, and I made a whole nother tape, and then through then I just kept working. So now I'm sitting on more music than I ever sat on in my life, to be honest. You know what I mean? So it's been cool.
So you and Thelonious Martin always seem to bring out the best in each other.
Mm-hmm.
What do you?
Corner store as opposed to Girls Ave. Speaking of Thelo, corner store as opposed to Girls Ave for sure.
That song was so great. Just everything about it, the beat, your verse, Saba's verse, like
word.
I love that song.
Saba blacked out on that shit. I'm not gonna hold you.
You and Thelo seem to bring out the best in each other. What do you think it is about your guys' relationship chemistry that make all of your collabs like so extraordinary?
We come from the same thing. Like as far as like the hip hop side, we just have the same scope of reference. So like he makes the same beats that I want to rap on, and I rap the same way he wants somebody to rap on his beats. You know what I mean? So it's certain beats where like he probably makes 5 beats a day for 3 something. You know what I'm saying? He probably makes a bunch of beats, but the ones he sends me to this point, we don't really miss. Like he could send me 1 or 2 beats now. Back in the day, he probably used to send me a whole pack of beats, and I like go through them and find the one I like the best or whatever. But now it's like we know what we expect from each other, and we know what we do. I feel like we just on the same wavelength, you know what I'm saying? We met for a reason, so we figuring those reasons out every day.
So I saw you post a picture recently of you in the studio with femdot. What made you decide to work with him?
He just cold, man. He cold and he from the city, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that's raw, I work with anybody that's raw. If they not like, if there's nothing else going on where I feel like I shouldn't work with them, and they talented, I'll work with anybody. But if you're from the city, and you raw, I feel obligated to work with you because I'm from the city and I'm raw. And I feel like all we could do is help each other. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't hurt each other by coming together. It can only get bigger. So yeah, it was just a respect for his pen for real.
Speaking of that, who are some artists that you want to work with in the future?
From the city or just period?
In general.
Now, I want to get a whole verse before you hang him up. That's top of the list for sure, because I know eventually it's not gonna be worth it. You know what I mean? So I want to get a whole verse. Hov, if you see this, or if anybody else that fuck with Hov see this, Meek Mill, Drake, Wayne, Hov, Meek, Drake, Wayne. I want to work with Freddie Gibbs. I want to work with Spitter. Just for the sake of that's one of my favorite rappers growing up. You know what I'm saying? I really want to get a verse from Ghost and Ray. You know what I mean? Like that was one of my things too. Like throughout my entire discography, I'm gonna get all of Wu-Tang. Inshallah, like I can make it happen. But I want to be able to have done that. Like I want to give them bread for a feature, pay my dues to who really inspired me to rap. You know what I mean? And that's like a thing. Who else? Let me look at this wall right here. Yeah, defo Wayne though. Wayne up there. Hov, Ye, Wayne, Drake, Meek. Those like my top that I'm really gunning for a feature from. I think me and Meek, Rick Ross. But I think me and Meek make the same type of music on the rap side. I think when Drake comes and raps like that, like he make Ross type of music. You know what I'm saying? Like really like he could speak the pain or experience, but he could also just ball eloquently. And I like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, definitely Kanye, obviously, because Kanye, like, he could do it all, to be honest. I really wanted to, once I found out, I wanted to write for Kanye for so long, and then once I found out he lets niggas write for him, I was damn near offended, like, Z, you know what type of shit I could have said for you, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? But definitely Thug, Dirt, Gunna, Herb, I really want to work with Herb. I've been talking to Mickey about that. I'm really trying to get Herb on the next tape. Me and him got the same engineer. Shout out Dex Level. Got to make sure Dex that. But yeah, me and him got the same engineer we work with day to day. So we like got close ties. And Mickey been in my corner since I was probably 17, 18. Like he know me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I like to ask this question to all the Chicago artists that I interview. But like, there's always that conversation, right? Of like, Chicago doesn't have
Flex
this.
too. My bad, not to cut you off. You know who 100 Flex is? Flex. I was just at Flex video shoot last night. Me and him working on some shit too, 100%, and a little blessing too.
Oh, he's raw. He's super raw. But there's always that conversation, right? Like, Chicago doesn't have this, what Atlanta has, what LA has, what New York has. What do you think is missing in Chicago's music community?
There's a lot of things that are missing, but I think it's due to, I think people often attribute Atlanta over Chicago and LA over Chicago of having unity. But the unity comes from infrastructure and stability in the music industry. We don't have industry here for the most part. We have certain pillars, like y'all are one of the new pillars of Chicago music industry, which is fine because there's not really any, historically there's not any platforms like this that are from here and still here, you know what I mean? And so in Atlanta, in my opinion, I think everybody works together because they see that they can get money together, because they all getting money separately, and they all first start working together, and the songs probably did better than, you know what I'm saying? So it just makes sense. Like, if you get money, it's not like the streets where if you get money and somebody else getting money, y'all can't get money together. In the streets, like, you can't really do that. If you got a plug and somebody else got a plug, you got to shop with them or they got to shop with you. So it cuts off somebody's money circulation, you know what I mean? And somebody else becomes the main benefactor of the money. But in music, if y'all both get money and it's being funded most likely from an outside source, you can only come together to get more money and generate more money. And now you have more marketing dollars because you got a budget and they got a budget, and the song is both of y'all. So now the video don't just got to come out of your pocket. You might be able to split it, you know what I mean? The studio time, even, you both getting your studio time paid for, or you both paying for your studio time, and you might be able to even split the sessions and all that, you know what I'm saying? So it become a thing like that where I feel like in Chicago, we don't have that same level of structure where people could like go somewhere, wait for somebody to come out and rap for them and get a deal. Like in New York, there's so many stories of people getting their deals because they heard somebody was at a radio station and they pulled up and rapped for them. Our radio station's in Hammond, Indiana. You know what I'm saying? We don't even got radio stations. So it's like, yeah, I think we just need more structure and shit, more institutions like this, you know what I mean?
And then the last question I have for you is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Geographically or like life-wise or?
Life-wise.
I see myself more financially free, of course, like prospering more, definitely setting up other people to succeed in ways that I've been blessed to succeed, doing more for the city, like similar to things like Year of the Youth and stuff that we got done last year, and having more of a hand in other people's success as opposed to just like increasing my own, you know what I mean? But I feel like that comes with it. Like, I just want my arms to reach as far as they can so that I could grab hands with somebody else and they could keep reaching, and they could grab hands with somebody else and they could keep reaching. So that's really where I see myself, whatever that means as far as like what I'm destined to do, and that, you know what I mean? But definitely just bigger, like, and having more of an impact and helping other people have more of an impact, you know what I mean?